Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. So I can't say if you're new here because obviously I'm new as well, so we are all new. But my name is ecfmg and I recently graduated medical school from Ukraine in the year 2022, and I am on my journey to becoming an internal medicine physician in the US. And I want to share my journey, and I created this channel to talk about everything USMLE, from the cost to the resources, the materials you need, to the methods of studying, when to register, how to register, when to take your exam, what you can be doing as a medical student, and also to share my own personal experiences, why I decided to do this, and regrets, decisions, mistakes, and things I could have done better, right? So if this is something that you would want to know about, if something that you've been considering, or this is a path you want to tour, I would like for you to subscribe, and I'm going to be releasing a new video every week. My videos would address all your concerns. It will address any questions you have. So if there is something that maybe I haven't talked about or you would like me to talk about, you can drop a comment and I will do my best to address it, of course, as much as I know. So let's get down to today's video. Today I want to give a rundown of everything. That is why I titled it The Beginner's Guide. So obviously some of the things I'm about to say here, some of you already know, but then if you don't, just keep watching. So recently I got a question from a junior colleague. He is interested in doing his residency in the US, and he wanted to know, what should I do? What exams am I going to write? And then he asked, oh, do I need to write exams? Are there exams I need to write? I'm like, of course. No! If you're a medical student or you're already a medical doctor, you would know we breathe, eat, live, work exams. You are going to write exams, and I believe that most countries, if you want to practice as a physician there is obviously an exam that you have to write to be licensed. Okay, so that goes without saying that if you want to practice medicine in the US, you're going to have to take exams. But I want to divide this whole thing into the exams and the non-exam things, right? Because they judge you holistically. It's not only scores that they need, there are other things that make up your application. So that's what I want to talk about today. Now, to start with the exams, right, there is the USMLE Step 1. USMLE stands for United States Medical Licensing Exam. So it's just licensing exam to practice medicine in the US. So there is the Step 1, which is basic science knowledge, like mostly basic science. Yeah. So for us who did the 6th year medical school system, it's going to be the material that is covered in your 1st to 3rd year. Well, a little bit of 4th year, but majorly is going to be 1st to 3rd year material. And then after that, you have your USMLE Step 2 CK. CK stands for clinical knowledge, so it's going to be clinical knowledge, right? Your 4th year, 5th year, 6th year stuffs, all the clinical things. But then as you already know in medicine, you don't just learn something and throw it. You build on what you've learned in the previous year. So of course, you're going to be learning those same pathologies, those same diseases, but now you're going to be quizzed or tested on maybe treatments, diagnosis, risk factors, screening, all the clinical stuff. And then previously there was Step 2 CS, which was the clinical skills, but COVID came and everything changed. So Step 2 CS has been suspended, and in place of Step 2 CS, we have OET and ecfmg pathways. Okay, breathe. OET is Occupational English Test. If you're not familiar with it, it's something like IELTS for health professionals. So it's just a test of your English proficiency with the writing, speaking, reading, like 4 subsections. And then after that, you take your Step 1, your Step 2 CK, your OET, and then you get ecfmg certified. So what is ecfmg? ecfmg is Educational Commission for Foreign Medical Graduates. So I like how someone puts it. That is your parent if you're a foreign medical graduate or an international medical graduate. That means you didn't school in the US. ecfmg is like your daddy, like your mommy, like your dean's office, okay? They are the people who certify us, for us to be able to practice in the US. So there are 6 different pathways, which I will not go in this video. Is beyond the scope of this video, but then everybody qualifies for at least one pathway, then you get certified. So that will be the end of the exam things. There is still USMLE Step 3, but it's not compulsory. You don't have to write Step 3, right, to apply. Step 3 is a plus or minus. There are different decisions. It's a personal decision. There are different factors that would determine if you would take it or not. Maybe you want to boost your scores, maybe you have the time, the resources, but it's absolutely not compulsory you can take it when you enter residency. Okay, so that's it for exams. Now for the non-exam things, there are other things that you need, to apply with. So for example, you need your personal statement. Your personal statement is just a letter that is describing you, selling yourself, telling them what they need to know about you, right, in short. Then you need letters of recommendation. So letters of recommendation, or in short LORs, you might have heard LORs. These are letters that are written on your behalf by physicians, people who can vouch for you, people who can, explain. It's like a referral letter, a reference letter. In general, they are vouching for you, take it like that. And then you can get letters of recommendation from your home country. Maybe you've done internship in your country or house job, maybe from your school professors, physicians from your school. You've worked with them, they can write you that letter. But then obviously letters that are gotten from doctors who are practicing in the US carry more weight. So whatever you do, you should also try to get LORs from US medical doctors. Okay, now how do you get that? Obviously that leads me to my next point. It is by doing a US clinical experience, commonly known as OSCE. So OSCEs can be electives, so hands-on rotations. If you're in medical school, you've not graduated, you can go for like an elective hands-on. If you've graduated already, you can do an externship. It's also hands-on, which is like you can interact with patients, do physical exams, all of that. But then if you've graduated and you can't get an internship, obviously, and then because externship positions are limited, you can also get observerships. Observerships are more common, and the difference between externships and observerships is that you don't get patients, like you can't touch them, you can only shadow and see what the doctor does, right? And now there are other things like research, case presentations, class presentations, so all of the scientific or scholarly things that you did apart from the classroom. So maybe you worked with someone in researching about something. Maybe your teachers in school did something and you attended conferences, or you presented posters, or there was a conference and you presented something, or in your classroom, even your classroom presentations, or in the wards, you were able to present a case. All of that work that you did, that has like a different section. Okay, so you also need volunteer experiences. So volunteer experiences are simply what it sounds like, volunteering. Whatever you do without pay. It can be outreaches, it can be working at a hospital, at a clinic, at a pregnancy center, helping out. Maybe in your church, maybe you had a camp meeting, or you had like a medical program and you helped out. All of those things that you did in your society, in your community, in your school, helping with conferences, helping to organize things, helping to maybe orientation for juniors, all of that stuff that you did without getting paid is volunteer experiences. Okay, so yeah, now to wrap up everything, I know I've said so many things already. Now I'll just give a rundown of it. If you want to practice medicine in the US, you will need to take your exams, your step 1, your step 2 CK, your OET, plus or minus step 3. Okay, so for the non-exam things, you will need your personal statement, your research, or case presentations, or posters, or publications, or case reports. You would also need letters of recommendation from US doctors or doctors in your home country, or you can also have a combination of both actually. Then you also need clinical experience in the US. They want to know that, okay, that you have an idea of how things work. You're not clueless about how medicine works in their country, right? And then you also need volunteer experiences. So the point of this whole thing is that they review your application as a person, which includes, of course, academic stuff, which are your exams, and then non-academic stuff, which are these other things, right? Okay, so that brings me to the end of this video. And I know that I've said so many things, and for someone it might be overwhelming. Don't be overwhelmed. I know it sounds like a lot, but you should just start from somewhere and then put one leg in front of the other, little steps, and it builds up, and before you know it, you're at the finish line. And that's actually how it is for almost everything in life, right? You start from first year to second year to third year, and before you know it, you're a final year medical student and you graduated, right? So this is how it is. Obviously, it is good that you know everything in a broad sense, but you don't have to incubate yourself with everything. Just pick one thing and start with it. So in the next video, we're going to be talking about before you even begin counting the cost, all the things you should think about before you say, oh, I want to do this, right? So thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, like. If you know someone who might benefit from this video, you should definitely share this to them. So till the next time, thank you so much and bye.